Howdy, folks. You're listening to Demon Dayz, an actual play podcast with a focus on fiends and the friends who play them. Wanted to give a quick shout out to KiloWhat, who does the artwork for our show. Amazing as always. Go check out her stuff. All the important links will be in the show description. And then I also wanted to point out that we have a Discord where all of us hang out, have a great time talking about all things nerdy, all things tabletop. There's something there for everyone, so come hang out with us. We can't wait to see you there. Let's get on with the show, shall we?
Friends, fiends! Welcome back to another exciting chapter of my story. My story. All in the contract, kiddos. Yeppers. Anyway, when last we spoke, the party had just dealt with the thralled ruffian who had shut down a witchy firbolg right in front of them. Feder had a big old freak out, and Yusuf did a bunch of healing. That just about catches us up. Let's see what happens next in these Demon Days.
Feder and Tazlin, you guys take your circuitous route back to Hous and have a bit of time to yourselves, just a quiet contemplation to calm down from the kind of big to-do, big freak out from Feder. And you have a free moment or two to wrap up any conversation before you finally find yourselves back at Hous. So you have about a moment before you get there. If there's any last words before you all die.
I think we were just kind of having a quiet stroll.
No, it was quiet.
Quiet stroll?
I think it's just like after any of those big kind of moments, I think Feder's now like properly like drained. I think that during the walk he just zones a little bit and just shoulders slump a little bit, and I think he's just properly tired, and he's got his arm up around Taz and is, I think, ready to tap out for the night, I think.
Yeah, and I'm just, strolling and taking in the calm presence, I guess, or trying to be a calm presence for Feder. So not really much, just being in each other's company.
Okay.
We said what we needed to say before we went on our little stroll.
Right. And then, Yusuf, you managed to put this firbolg to bed and get her some rest. And you're down in this main room, this entryway room of Hous, and you've got Zephina there. You have about a moment before Feder and Tazlin return. What was all that? She says.
Well, we were coming back and this person needed help.
But her eye, an arrow, that seemed pretty specific. Very targeted.
Yeah, it did. I'm surprised she's still alive.
Same. You must have gotten better at your healing abilities.
A bit. It's kind of comes with the job, so to speak.
Seems that way. Where are the others? There were some others with you. Are they?
They should be along. They usually, they've been taking more of their time than usual lately.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go out and keep a watch out just outside the perimeter. Just kind of keep a lookout.
Okay.
And she makes her way out and kind of looks up. She looks up to where you took the person before she exits, and just kind of shakes her head a little bit, not in disapproval, but more so just like, wow, the things you see in a given day here.
As she's walking, I can't remember if I asked her or not. As she's walking out, I was like, "Oh, did you have any luck on the writs for getting in and out of the castle?"
She brightens. Oh, yes, I did. They are. She turns, comes back to you. Here, she hands you a few. They're. It's kind of a general writ. I don't tell anyone, but I forged this. This is not going to pass scrutiny of you guys, but it's been able to get people in and out before. So you have access to the grounds and accompanied access to the palace and things like that. So you can make your way back up there, and it should be fine. I wouldn't go flaunting it in front of like the king or anything like that, or maybe not even Bonham. but general guards, it passes muster.
So will that allow us to get back up to, like, the room where I'm staying there?
Yes, you'll be able to get back there. You'll need some accompaniment to your room from within the palace. Grounds are fine. The palace, a guard will probably walk with you, or if I'm there, I will escort you myself.
Got it. Okay.
So, it's just that you, as a person who is not recognized in the palace, you would need to have someone with you, or you're going to be considered a threat. The writ kind of covers that, and it gives us a paper to show.
Okay.
And
Perfect.
And I'm trying to think. The Mage Tower is a definite no on that. No one is admitted there. So if you try, that'll break the illusion of it. It'll clue people in that something's up. They've been keeping that thing sequestered away.
Okay.
Let's see what else. Oh, and here she hands you this smooth little stone with a few notches and runes around it. Here's how we can stay in contact. So I'm going to have to get back. And it's a sending stone. And we'll use that, and you send me the message, and I'll send you, and we can sync up whenever we need to.
Okay.
But the longer I'm gone, the more I'll be missed. So I'm going to keep a watch while you guys kind of get settled here, and then I'll probably head back.
If you need to go back now, go ahead. We're pretty safe in the Hous.
In the Hous? Hous. You guys called it Hous.
Yeah, it's I can't remember if we told her what it was.
No, because we hadn't found it the last time that we saw her.
You do know, I mean, she was there sitting against it and tapping against it.
We sent
and
her
humming.
the address.
Yeah.
I sent her the address as like a place to meet us, but we did not know that house was Hous at that point. We just said that like it's a safe house for my family.
It's a safe Hous. It's a house.
Yeah. You suspect, or she has some suspicions. You can see on her face that she's thinking that there's something more organic and living to this, but doesn't quite have all the pieces together. You can explain to her what it is if you wish, but she's like, this place is kind of strange.
Mm-hmm. It's a very large house. Much larger than...
Oh, no, you did mention it.
Oh,
Bunky.
right, because I said, I talked about Bunky.
So rewind a little bit. It's like a mimic house.
Yeah, I'm
fascinating.
Well,
now I know where this place is. I'm definitely going to be back.
Oh, yeah, that's right, because you explained it because you were trying to be like house friend, and she was like, what?
Yeah. This is what happens when we're too long between recordings. So she starts to head out and just starts to do a perimeter. She's checking the other alley access points. There's really only the one, but checking cracks between the two buildings that are too small for people to get through, going around doing a perimeter. She's just trying to be a little bit cautious.
Okay.
You notice that about her, that she is a lot more cautious these days than she has been, especially back when Dagna Roos. There's kind of a sorrow to that as she exits the building and does her rounds, which is about the time that you two make it back to the building. And you see her exit. She nods to each of you, and Feder, you recognize that she's starting to do a perimeter check, just keeping an eye on things, at least doing that since all this went down. And you guys meet back up.
Just kind of nod back to her.
Yeah. So, Yusuf, how's she doing?
Good. She brought us back these, and I show the writs. They're general. She made them. They won't pass close scrutiny, but they should work on the guards.
No.
They're forgeries, Feder, you can tell.
It allows us onto the grounds and escorted...
By someone from the castle.
Yeah, escorted admittance into the castle. So, if we need to get back up to our rooms or two.
Well, worst case, I can be fee for an hour.
It's true. But, I mean, if push comes to shove, we'll need to have an escort, either fake or not, to get back up to, Fee's room or the room that I'm staying in, quote unquote.
Right, so...
So I give you each
wonderful.
One of the writs.
Then what tomorrow? We prepare ourselves for your little outing.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna hopefully the...
I've got to talk to Fee. Hopefully, I mean, you don't mind. Would you... I can't remember if I told you that we were planning on coming.
Yeah.
No.
I'm trying to...
Did we?
I don't.
Yeah, because
what do
remember,
you-
I think I'm Fee's date. Isn't that the plan?
Yeah,
You guys alluded to that.
But did we tell Taslin? That's what I'm trying to before I step in.
No, I don't think you told
something.
him.
No,
I don't think we
no,
did.
No, I don't
because
think we did.
I'm still under the impression that I'm going alone with Nax.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay. Cool. Sorry.
Because trust me, if there like, I definitely, if I knew you were going to be there and
Oh, yeah.
Nax was going to be there,
No.
and I'm on a date with Nax but not you, I'd just be like, oh god.
No. So we're gonna.
Yeah.
Sorry. I apologize in advance for the sneakiness that I'm about to do to you. So yeah, let's. So tomorrow, huh? You've got to find something to wear, I'm assuming.
Yep, I do. You know, dress to impress. I have nothing.
Yeah. Are you, Yusuf, worried? But we should investigate this Blackguard thing since they've made their presence known. We should figure out who or whom is going to be curious about our firbolg friend. Try to get her back to wherever she needs to be.
Right.
I'm still trying to fucking fuck up this incubus, but that could just, that's party favors. Like, that's bonus points. Like, I'm not too worried about that. So, yeah.
There's also whatever's happening over in Mortburg that I need to figure out what's going on. You know, the whole Raven Queen call. This other new bird won't leave me alone until that's handled, so we've got options.
Yeah.
I guess.
Well, after that last bit of business, I'm a bit knackered. So, sorted out over breakfast? Yeah? Is that a thing?
What time is it right now?
It's roughly
It's like 3
it's like
a.m.
2-ish in
Yeah.
the morning, yeah.
So we've got like 40 hours then.
And just about this time, as you guys are starting to wind down, Zephina comes back and she pokes in the door and I'm gonna go. You guys seem fine. Just wanted to check. Everything seems clear in the perimeter. I didn't notice anything. You all should be good. And let me know if you need anything. You've got that sending stone I gave you. And yeah.
Oh, one moment. And
Yeah.
I'll pull out a piece of paper and I'll scribble a little note. And fold it up and give it to her and be like, pass it off to Fee, would you?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
2 fee. And then just what does it say?
Oh, above table, it's just the request to go with her. That it's pretty much saying that, like, the paladin I'm with is a little uncultured and is really interested in the theater.
Okay.
But we're only here for a short amount of time. Is there any way you could get us tickets
Okay.
to the show at the Impossible Tumtarium or whatever the fuck it's called?
The opalescent menagerie.
There we go. There it is.
Yes, that. Jesus.
There's gonna be peacocks everywhere.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be and I'll just
Female ones.
I'll
It's just
throw
gonna
in a
be
little
ugly as shit.
like he's too chaste and pious to ask himself,
Okay.
but he can't stop thinking about the excitements of the theater.
Oh
Okay.
god, Fee is going to just gush. just water
Full
torrent.
water slide.
It's gonna be a
Wow.
water slide over to the menagerie.
So wait a second. Is that how the swamp got all swampy?
It must have been
It
because
all
I
rolls
have
downhill?
a sneaking suspicion that she does not wear undergarments, so
it
it's
all
just
rolls downhill.
yeah.
Hi, we're a bunch of perverts. I don't know if you remember. If you
If stuck with us long enough past episode 100, I'm pretty sure you already
If you
know
were
this.
here for the high fantasy drama, maybe watching Lord of the Rings, maybe seeing any of us being like on socials, like, hey, but no, we're a bunch of dirty perverts that like playing Dungeons and Dragons. So welcome.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, we have toned it down for several
Yeah, a
handful of
little.
episodes. Like it's been very
Yeah.
just kind of alluding and emotion and very,
Yeah.
one-on-one. Like the fact that we have not had an orgy or a threesome or a foursome or
In a while.
in a
We're
while
overdue,
is-
really.
Yeah.
It just it ebbs and flows.
Yeah, maybe we can get some.
Yeah, it
maybe we
does.
can get some popcorn at the theater. We'll cut a little hole in the bottom.
Oh my god.
Mage hand that bitch.
Oh yeah. Sorry. What were we doing? We're going to sleep. We're going to bed.
Popcorn still popping? What's happening?
yeah.
Oh man, if we're doing a thing where that would be quite a thing where it's like Tasslin sitting down next to Nax, and then all of a sudden Feder walks up
yeah.
and they both have popcorn, and I just be like, which one do I choose? I can double fist this.
There we go.
Yeah.
I got 2 hands and a tail. 2 hands and a tail. Look.
Mage hand
there's
at higher
options.
levels.
Yeah, come on, get out of here. I mean, I just want us to be like on opposing opera box. Like that's my hope. Yeah. Oh boy, let's find out what's gonna happen.
So yeah, Zephaniah leaves, takes the note she's gonna take the note to Fee, and as she makes her way out, there's a brief moment where you all have this pause moment between you all after you've talked and planned, and then you get ready to tuck in for the night, just find a place to rest. When you feel something a little bit at the back of your mind, or back of your head, as it were. First it kind of feels like a kneading towards the upper part of your neck, just a push.
Is it wet? Or are we getting licked by Hous?
No.
Are we getting
This is more of a pressure that suddenly kind of turns into a bit of a thumbing, like boom, 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 and your head starts to hurt a bit. And it fades for a little bit, and then comes back a little bit more intense.
What?
And it's just, for now, there's this thrum.
Does anybody else feel like their brain is getting fucked?
A little bit. I pull my sword out just in case there is any saves we have to make. Like if something's trying to attack us mentally, so
Okay.
that everybody gets that +3 bonus. Or, advantage on the saving throw.
For now, that's all you feel. Feder, with your perception being, let me just remind the audience here, 26.
26, folks.
Yep. With that,
And that's passive, correct?
That's
That is
passive.
passive.
Passive for both wisdom, perception, and investigation. That's both. Insight's a 21.
yeah. So with that,
Which my passive insight is 17. I'm gaining on you.
Yeah, let's go. I'm ready. So I feel like I kind of like hunch down. The way this looks is like I hunch down and just kind of like take it, like breathe through the awkwardness, and then just kind of like spidey senses on just to try to feel like what's going on around me.
and you guys have felt similar things before. This feels a little bit different, a bit more muted than any of your previous headaches and migraines. Feder, you notice just a slight ripple is probably the best way I can describe it, as if a hand on a cloth was kind of pushing and running its fingers along. Just this like shimmer of something pushing through reality but not breaking through. And it just kind of trails towards the door and then moves around like feeling. And then almost at once you all feel the sharp shock of just a strike in your mind as you see pressure push against the air.
Yeah.
But you notice that there is a problem in that whatever this is not
Right.
breaking through. But you all remember this feeling
Right.
from
And
your various
I'll
invasions.
just go, Taz, riff shit. Get the squirrel knife out. Do you see that? And I'll point it out just so we're all looking at it.
Yeah, so I'll pull the knife out.
And to be able to see what he's pointing out to you, you need to do a perception check, just because this is very faint. Your perception is so high.
Oh, sure.
That you're just you
It's
can
there. It's right.
I don't
there.
even need to see it. I'm just like, he tells me to pull the knife out, I'll pull the knife out.
13 perception.
13.
Hey, better than mine. I only got 11 this time.
Feder's pointing it out to you, but you guys cannot see anything. But he seems to have a bead on it, and you're basically at the mercy of whatever Feder is communicating to you in terms of visual.
So, in basically one motion, because I can't see it, I'll pull out the squirrel knife. I will cut my hand so there's the blood on it, infusing the gem that's in the knife, and I just toss it to Feder.
Okay. So you cut the hand. Roll a hit dice. Roll a hit dice.
All right, 4.
4. Just subtract 4 from your HP
Yep.
as that part of your essence is pulled into the squirrel knife, and it thumbs along in rhythm and brightness with this. Whatever is with you guys right now isn't breaking through, but it is trying to find a way to break through.
Right. So I've got like the squirrel knife out in one hand, and I've got like Mom's onyx dagger in the other, and I'm just kind of clocking it, and I'll look at it and I'll be like, so Taz, if I stab this thing, is it better? Is it better or worse? Like, do you think I'll banish it, or do you think I'll help it get here? Like, what?
I think you will end up opening whatever it's trying, but it's a good thing to be prepared just in case it does break through, and I'll, summon
all right.
my Eldritch in my hand while I'm talking. It's good to be prepared, but I think it might end up opening the doorway for it if we
Right.
try and preemptively.
Okay, so we wait. When it opens, I try to so I'm gonna I'll ready an action to when it pops through, like whatever, I'm going right at that hand.
Okay.
If and when it pops through.
Gotcha. And you guys are staying kind of in this main
I think
lobby, because this is the smaller part of the building. Are you guys...
I kind of want to like circle up with Yusuf a little bit, like just so we're all...
I mean, the other option is we get on the staircase, and when it comes through, we just say, not friend, and have him chomp away.
Sure.
Although that might be better as a last-ditch effort. 'Cause I don't know how the whole house is going to move.
I mean, also having Hous eat something from another plane might give it indigestion,
Sure.
and I really
Also,
don't want to be sleeping in that.
there's a very small chance that this is someone trying to get to, like, you know what I mean? Not to be devil's advocate, ding, but
Yusuf just shakes his head.
this could be someone trying to get to us. You know what I mean? So
Right.
stiff, yeah.
You know what? That's fair. And Yusuf takes he looks where Fetter's looking. He can't see it because he just can't. But he braces, like he puts the blade of the sword on his elbow, like if he was holding a cloak up. It's and like hiding behind the cloak, like all stealthy. Like that's how his elbow is. And he plants the sword for a strike on that, kind of like a pool cue, so he can just thrust from where he is. So as soon as anything, he's readying an attack.
I'm also going to the Eldritch Blast that I already have kind of in my hand will shift in color and turn black because I'm readying a banishment spell.
Okay.
Dope.
Almost at once, there is it was rapid 4 or 5 in a row of just strike, causing you to see stars briefly, and then this long drawn out scrape, and it's the worst version of fingernails on a chalkboard, just as reality is being scratched, and there's about one more moment, and a clawed arm, thick, breaks through and almost peels away reality. And let's roll initiative.
Ah, you're right.
Awesome.
And then we need the map for you guys.
No rest for the wicked.
Oh, right. I need to do that. Oh, that's what... I just remember what I was going to tell you. Wait. Which one?
Oof. You don't happen to have Skirl Dagger stats, do you?
No.
Okay. Probably not
I don't
intended
think
to
we
be
ever.
used as a weapon.
I don't think we ever got those.
It's just normal dagger
Yeah.
stats in terms
Okay.
of
Got it.
but magical. Okay.
I'm into
What Feder, what did you roll?
7.
7.
Hope we get a surprise round.
Tazlin, what did you roll?
Dirty 20.
Dirty.
All right, Yusuf, what did you roll?
Also a 7. Which makes sense, because Feder and I were standing next to each other getting ready.
Okay. So, in the beginning of this,
surprise round.
at this beginning round, all you have right now is just the arm, this big, thick, scaled arm has torn through a very wide swath. I would say arced around, kind of in an arc, similar in curvature to Yusuf's spell that's on the map right now. Kind of this large opening in which to climb through or to have itself and something else climb through. But all you have right now, at the beginning of your turn, is this thick clawed arm and a little bit of opening that you can see inside. With I'd give you a free perception check just to see what's in there.
Oh yeah.
That's a little better. If I didn't have a 1 for perception. 17.
17?
22.
22?
16.
16? Yeah, this looks kind of like there's a lot of scales and spikes on this meaty creature's arm.
Spikes. Arcana?
Sure.
Is that what Plains is now?
Yeah, but I would say, Taslin, you could do the Arcana.
Oh, yeah.
Because it is your turn. This will be your turn to start with.
26.
26? Amazing.
Not 20, so 26.
In some of your time in Skypoint and researching, looking through some of the various books, various compendiums of other creatures, there is some talk of abyssal creatures that you've read up on, and these seem to be referred to as Hezru. And they are huge, and they seem to have some sort of summoning ability. But other than that, that's basically what you know. They are considered large. There's a lot that has to come through, which is why the tear in reality is as big as it is.
Held actions. Can we do that?
Yep. So if you have,
I just kind of go, big guy, coming through. So I have a banishment spell
And
that
I'll
okay.
let Taz
Hang on.
do hers first, and then I'm going to try to sneak attack this fucker.
Okay.
Right out the gate.
do you wish to do that with this arm that has come through?
No, not yet. So I'm still holding until
Okay.
it comes through more.
Okay.
I'll take a swipe at the hand, like right out the gate, like even before he's like fully corporeal, with the Skirl gem, just to see what happens.
Okay. Before your turn, because you guys rolled pretty low, you see a second hand,
Okay.
but the same type of hand. So, like, imagine if this one was like the left hand. Another left hand is kind of like clawing through, trying to find purchase on something.
Another left?
Another left, yeah, just another big meaty hand. This giving you guys the immediate impression that there is some crowding.
There's
Here,
two of them.
And that brings us to Feder first. Now, you've got two meaty left arms essentially clawing through. One has tried to tear at reality,
Yeah.
and the other one is trying to find purchase in this place. And is starting to slam against the wall and scratch against it, and causing a little bit of discomfort to Hous,
All right.
but nothing too damaging.
So all right. So held action's gonna be just the attack, right? So.
And this is what you've been holding it until now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, oh, whack, and then I'm just gonna go. So that means that is a 18 to hit.
Yes, 18 does hit.
All right, fucker. So here we go. Still 6. Is it still 66? I remember how to play this game.
I am so glad that I held the banishment spell, though, because the fact that there's two of them, my banishment spell can hit two of them. So that way I don't have to waste a spell slot.
That's awesome. Just make sure they're in this realm before you try and banish them.
I know. Also why
While you're waiting.
That is 30 points of damage, John, to that hand with the Skirl gem. Or the Skirl knife.
Okay, are you doing the one that tried to tear or the one that's reaching in?
The first one that showed up.
Okay,
Like the
so-
very first one that showed up. I feel like I said, like, the first thing that pops through I'm going to swing at, so that's it.
All right, how much damage you say?
30 points of damage.
Nice. That's some good scrape into it. And as the Skirl blade slices through some of the meaty flesh of the arm, it irritates much more than you think it might normally. It not so much that it's doing more damage, it's doing true damage to this
Okay.
thing. As in, there is some element of magic you're sensing that
Got it.
is required for the skin of this. But it is the Skirl knife is doing wonders.
Bonus action to do insightful fighting on the one that came through. Actually, no, it's just one held action. So one held action.
Okay.
That's the end.
And so, because that came in before your turn, it is your turn.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so essentially, when she went, she's holding something, and then whatever these creatures are were before you guys. And you were holding your action, right? Before that?
Yeah.
Or, okay. So then, in the initiative, you still have your turn, which would then be Yusuf after that.
Okay.
So if you had held action, then what is that one? Because this is they've just burst their arm through, and if you're holding on, then we can move forward. But it is technically his turn, then yours.
I was holding an attack for when they came through.
Okay, for when they fully come through.
Well, no, like as soon as like something came through. So like the arm.
You got two giant meaty arms, two large meaty arms in.
Yeah, I'll definitely attack one when I'm able.
Yeah, I think I was the only one that was holding for it to fully come through.
Right, you're holding. But I guess what I'm saying is that they came in first, triggering Fetter's held action, so now it's Fetter's turn, and then it would have triggered your held action before him.
Okay, so do it now.
Yeah, go ahead, do it now.
Okay, these are fiends, so this is a lot of dice. Also, we hit level 11, so now every attack I do adds an extra D8 of radiant damage.
Nice.
Oh, you sloppy bitch. Well, that's a 19 on the die. Unfortunately, it's not a 20. 28 to hit.
That does hit.
Okay.
And which one are you attempting to hit? The one that first came through as tearing the reality, or the one that was just kind of looking for purchase?
Whichever one came through first. So probably the one
that Fetter.
Yeah. So, let's see. 7 plus 7 is 14. 16 plus 5. 21 points of radiant. Well, sorry, 21 points of damage. I'm pretty sure this goes through whatever DR they would have anyway, so unless you need it specifically spread out from radiant and regular.
No, it was true. The damage was true.
Okay.
So
yeah, 21 points.
Yep, and you hear a howl, an almost echoey screech howl from throughout time and space as it's crossing between realities, and it echoes in the house. Hous as well in the house. Hous shakes a little bit at that. Which has, now we have Fetter's turn and then your turn. So all your held actions except for Taslin's are good to go. So now it's Fetter and Yusuf.
Okay.
And then back up the top to Taslin.
Okay, so I'm going to... Where are the hands coming through?
So you've got the one that was tearing through right around here.
Right.
And the one that is searching for purchase up here. So essentially, towards the east of the house, you've got one that's tearing through.
Kind of towards the stairs. So while I'm going to try to, split the two of them and try to get on the far side of the one on kind of my right as I, split through the two auras coming through, just to try to get into kind of a flanking position with Yusuf and essentially get behind the thing. If it's coming through...
So kind of right around...
Yeah, under, kind of right near under the stairs, right there. Bonus action for insightful fighting is my perception there is a dirty 20 against its deception check.
Deception... 5. So
Yep.
it didn't work against it.
Okay, so I just start to, even as more of this thing comes through the rift, to, process what I'm looking at. And I am going to take a swing on that hand again with my action.
I wish I could only show you half of the icon, but I can't. So that's why I'm
Sure.
trying to hide it, because it is huge.
With this time not with the skirl knife, but with mom's onyx dagger.
Gotcha.
And that is 13 plus. It's 22 to hit.
That does hit.
All right. 66, motherfucker. Sorry.
66. 66.
Okay, so that's a weird one. For 12. Too many dice. It's not a bad problem to have about this. I'm doing that dumb Instagram thing, which how do you add these numbers? And I'm 2 7s is 14. 19, 24 plus 5 is 29 points of damage.
Nice.
Is that the same one that I hit before, or is that the second one to come through, John?
This is the first one.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So another 29 points of damage to that.
Yeah,
fellow.
and to defy physics, since you're on the opposite side, there's still the same gap there, and the arm is through, and there's a bit of wonkiness and distortion in reality, but you're getting further up the arm, and the blade is able to catch further in. And your arm feels a bit weird as you make this attack, as it shifts between this reality and this other reality. And it feels weird, but the attack is true and does a lot of damage. And there's a stagger from the creature, bringing us to Yusuf.
So both hands have come through, and he kind of sidesteps and tries to, since they're both like reaching through, he tries to get perpendicular to him, just cut both of them off.
Okay.
If he can.
They're far enough to where it would be a bit outside your sword's range, so you can probably pick one.
Okay, then I'll go
They're
after
about
the first
here,
one. That's,
and then here. Yeah,
I'll go after the one that.
you'd be flanking with Feder on that.
Yeah, I'll do that one. 2 attacks.
And you see him behind, sort of this weird, distorted shape of Feder behind this tear in reality, and it looks weird as he is cut into him from the opposite side.
Does a 19 hit?
It does.
Cool. Then the 24 does as well. So the first hit does, let's see, 7, 10, 17 plus 5, 22 points of damage. And then the second one hits for 30 points of damage.
Nice. This first one looks to be in rough shape as it's starting to thud against the reality, like it's starting to falter. And as it falters in, its weight tears down the reality a bit more and reveals its form as it kind of tears through and falls through the reality. Not quite as weird as Danny DeVito coming through the couch. Not nearly as tight of a space. It just bursts through and flops down, and it's prone at this point, but it is still scrambling and huge and taking up a lot of space. And Feder and Yusuf, you guys notice that your space is very crowded by this very large creature.
Got it.
With a massive maw, spikes along its spine, and
Yeah.
many, many teeth. But it is in rough shape.
So you said it's prone right now?
It's prone right now, yeah.
Okay.
Which then, I think that was your action, which leads us to Taslan. Taslan, you do see at the top of the round, before you, there's a shaking of the house is very disturbed by this distortion in space and reality. Mm-hmm. It hasn't done anything yet, but it is very discomforted and trying to figure out what's going on. Mm-hmm. And you can sense that as the house starts to shake and wobble a little bit. But other than that, your turn is next.
So what fell through is not fully dead, correct?
Right, but it is very damaged.
Wounded. Yeah.
And I would say, for sake of this, you can see beyond the veil, beyond this veil, you can see the other one too. I would say,
Okay.
based off of this, the air has torn around it. They're not in physical space in the material plane yet. Just their arm is.
Okay.
But you can see because enough of it has torn down, as if someone fell through a rip in the wall and kind of brought some of it down.
So still, both of them still aren't considered fully in, just the one that fell through.
The one that fell through is now considered fully in. I'm giving you a visual on this one,
Yeah.
who is not in yet. But the one that's in is very near, like, one more good hit, death sort of thing. It is not doing so hot.
Okay, so then I'm going to keep holding my banishment spell. And while I'm doing that, because I sense Hous's uncomfortableness, I'm going to start humming my song that, like, helped keep it calm, just to, like, let it kind of, like you're calming a child, being like, it's okay, we got you. Like,
right, yeah.
It's going to be fine. So I'm humming my song while I'm holding my black banishment.
Okay.
Magic, mysticky stuff.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And that's it for...
Yep, that's
Okay.
it for me.
All right. Which then leads us to the Hizru, this abyssal creature that is very now in the room and taking up all this space. It's going to use its movement and weakly get up and attack the first thing in front of it. It's you, Yusuf, as it's attacking you. You get the sense that it is supposed to just break through. There's a look in its eye as it doesn't care what's happening to it, so as far as it breaks through and gets to where you guys are. And Feder, you would see that too with your insightful fighting, things like that. You guys are seeing this as it breaks in. There's some intent there. just shock, get in. And it's going to... So there's a 20 hit. Yusuf, it's going for you with a bite and 2 claws. 20 hits for first attack. It's bite. 14.
14 points?
Yeah. No, it's a 14 hit.
No.
Okay, so that one misses. So a hit and a miss. And then its last claw, 25.
Yeah.
So so basically a bite and a claw.
Okay.
And it's going to hit for 14 damage for the first one, piercing, and 11 for the second. So as it bites in for 14, tries to grab onto you and get some purchase, and its other claws tries to swipe in and bring you into itself for 11.
Okay.
Which brings us to the second one, who's going to fully come in, just bound in, basically crowd the space around you. But instead of attacking you directly, it's going to look kind of beyond you to the open space behind you and start to reach its hand out. And you notice there are some magic tendrils of dark abyssal energy kind of form around its hand. And no, you sense there's some sort of spell working. And as it shoots out, it fizzles, as if just for some reason passing between itself coming in here just expended enough that it wasn't able to summon something, but it attempted to summon something, bringing that the end of its turn. It is now fully in, and they're both crowding you.
Okay.
Bringing us to Feder.
Okay, so still from the behind of this large goobery fellow, I'm just gonna be like, just do a little free action talky talk and be like, Hous, bad, Hous. Bad Hous. Attack, kill, whatever. Okay, great. And then I am going to, as I swing out, the one that I've got insightful fighting up on. I'm gonna do 2 swings. First one will be with the Skirl, and then the second one will be with Moms.
Okay.
So first attack is a 23 to hit.
That does hit.
All right, fucker, let's go. God, I love that sound. All right.
That clink, clink, clink of cold hard cash.
10. 6, 7, 8, 18 becomes 23 points of damage with the Skirl knife. And then next one is a
Honestly, for
20.
the second one, hold your second one.
Okay.
Because the first one does enough, too. As it has lumbered in, you manage to get it true right, just knock it right on the brainstem as it collapses down. And you bring it down. As you bring it down, it starts to melt, for lack of a better way to put it. Its essence starts to not survive this material plane and start to become goo.
right.
As you ride it down. So it's just a scattered goo on the floor,
Cool. Then I'm going to, what I'll do
which
is,
leaves you in that space for a free 5 feet of movement.
I'll stay back.
Okay.
I'll stay back there, and then I'll use my bonus action instead to try to move my insightful fighting onto the other one.
Okay.
So that's a 10, 21 perception versus deception.
20.
21. Haha, fuck you.
This one seemed to be a little bit more... it's not having the detriment of trying to break through.
Mm-hmm.
But you still managed to move your insightful fighting onto it.
Fantastic. All right, so I'm going to stay put there and call that my turn.
Okay. Bring us to Yusuf. And then Tazlin, you're after. Or at least House's reaction to things, and then Tazlin.
I'm going to move closer to the wall.
Towards the right, going right around it, curving around it to the right?
No, I want to... Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Because right now...
Kind of going to the south around it.
I was like, don't move far enough away from me that I'm out of the aura.
No. Because there's a wall there, but what I wanted to do was if he did like a line attack or something, I wanted to get, like, if it was centered on me, I didn't want it to be able to hit Taz behind me.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
So she's still in the aura, and we're gonna go ham on this dude. I'm not sure what Taz.
Before you start your turn, I didn't realize this. Feder, we're going to just back up a little bit.
Yep.
There is a stench that comes in with this. And I meant to read this. You started your turn within 10 feet of these things.
Okay.
Constitution saving throw for anyone who did 10 feet within. So not you just yet. I think you're out of the
When
range.
it died, or just at the start of the round?
The start of the round.
Okay.
It's physical presence.
Is this a magic effect?
It is... No, it's not. It's
Okay.
a poisoning sort of effect.
Okay, so there's no... We don't get a bonus
Oh,
to it.
no.
Will I be disappointed if I don't actually get to use my banishment spell? Yes, I will. Will it suck? Not totally, because I'll just dissipate it
Listen.
and then I won't have used the spell slot. So
These choppy boys are ready to chop. That was a... God, this is not my strong suit. 12.
12. Okay, poisoned until the start of your next turn. So it's basically just the poison status.
Okay.
So you were fine with your attack because it was so weak,
Right.
so it doesn't affect it. So you should be fine. It just affects you if you fail the roll.
Okay, so I'll take poison in this round just to counterbalance that.
Did you say a Constitution saving throw?
Yes.
In one round, John?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll do this round upcoming,
Okay.
because it'll give me disadvantage on my attack.
I meant to ask it of you guys earlier, but I got wrapped
That
up
was
in
only a 12. Wait, this is poison?
a Constitution saving throw
Versus poison?
A poisoning. Yes.
This I have advantage on.
Yeah.
16?
16. You're good.
Sweet.
There is something with the smell that is very pervasive, but you understand what that stench effect from fiends and abyssal creatures is meant to. It's meant to really basically shock and kind of prevent you from doing things. And your training has made it so that it's not a big deal. Mm-hmm. And you resist it without any effort. Yeah, it is very bad. Very bad.
Okay. First attack.
First attack. You're squaring off against this giant.
18 on the die.
18 hits.
Okay, that's the normal damage. We're gonna smite. And God, it's been so long since I did this. Smite evil. Divine smite. Deals an extra 2d8 plus 1 per spell slot. So this is gonna be a 3rd level spell slot. So that's gonna be an extra 5d8 on top of this for damage. So this, and then roll this again. Roll 2 more d8.
All right.
Dick. Okay, so 10, 20, 30, 40. 45 points of damage.
Woo!
That's the first attack. Is he still up?
He's still up. Decent chunk, but he's still
17
cooking.
on the die.
17. Yep.
and this is where my spell goes away.
Well, we'll see. I might roll like shit again. I'm gonna
45 was like shit.
do I see anything else
Right.
coming in behind him?
No.
Okay.
You do see a more arid, deserty waste behind them.
Okay, I'm gonna burn a 2nd level spell slot on this one. So it's gonna be a D8 less.
And while you're adding that up, if you,
1.
depending on what your level of Arcana would be, you might understand what their purpose is in this and why there aren't many behind them. But
15, 25, 32, 37 points of damage for the 2nd attack.
not bad. It is. You're doing some serious damage on it. I would say it's about bloodied. It as it's fighting against you, it took a lot of hits from all that radiant damage. And it's not doing so hot.
And as a bonus action, I'm going to cast Compel Duel. I need a wisdom saving throw from him.
Compel Duel. Natural 20.
Fuck. Okay. It doesn't really do anything then.
It turns its head a little bit as you're trying to do that Compel Duel and almost moves its muscles back in response as if it brushes off whatever this effect you were trying to do. And if you don't have anything else or other movement, we'll go to top of the round.
Oh, shit. It has to... Okay.
Did I do something wrong?
No, it's fine. I thought I thought just the spell fails, but it's up for concentration, so like he has to make a roll each round.
For that same thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm going to concentrate on that.
Got it.
but that's where
At the
we're
beginning of his turn or just the top of the round?
Beginning of his turn, I think.
Okay.
Well, I mean this round If it succeeds on the saving throw, the spell doesn't restrict the target's movement for that turn. So I'm guessing it'll roll on my turn because right now it's not.
Oh, right, because you have to enact it on it.
Yeah, so it's going off of me, so it'll probably roll on my turn next round. But this round, it's not at disadvantage.
Okay. In response to the house, bad, a tentacle comes through the floor and just tries to slash at it, and it does roll about
that house with tentacles.
It rolls its AC without adding the modifiers and does a little bit of damage. You see that it scratches against the skin and does a good cut. But it's merely a tentacle versus an abyssal hide, so maybe 5 damage. And then that brings us to Taslin's turn. So the house is now starting to react to this presence here, so there's some help.
Okay, so it's not dead, which
not dead.
means and now it's fully in, which means I can actually use my spell. So what I'm going to do is I am going to kind of pull my hands apart. And like the black will stretch, essentially, almost like I'm kind of making a portal, sort of, and there will be kind of like a blackness that kind of comes around the bad guy, mimics kind of like when I'm having stretch in my hands, and I need him to make a charisma saving throw.
A charisma?
Mm-hmm.
Whoop.
What you don't know is he went to Juilliard.
Don't jinx it.
A 13.
Oh, he misses it.
Fuck you!
So the black portal that's opening up behind him is actually going to encapsulate, almost, you know how in those horror movies there's a thing that comes out of the darkness and just yanks it?
Yeah.
That's what's gonna happen. And yanks it through. And then I'm gonna slam my hands down together, and then it's gonna go away and dissipate, and you just hear a pop. It's like, yep.
And since it was... Okay, go ahead.
And as I'm pulling the hands down so it can pop, I just kind of off to the side to Feder go, get ready to close the portal.
Yep, here we go.
And as it pops, do a perception check. Not so much Feder, but you two, Yusuf and Taslin, since you are more directly in line with kind of a...
No.
17.
17? As a quirk, visual quirk to this, there was that blackness as it pulled him in and banished him. But then in the distance, in unreality beyond, in this abyssal thing, and far in the plane, maybe you get a sense of a round or two, just a... As a black portal opens far enough around, maybe a round or two, and just it knocks him into the plane where he belongs.
Right.
So there's a moment where he doesn't know what's going on. You have essentially, since
Fuck, did I get back here?
Essentially, we'll wrap up combat in that you guys have a few moments to do something each, and then he's going to start charging your way.
Okay.
So
I'm gonna if I see the rift because I'm next in the order, right?
yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to. I don't think I've helped close portals. I don't think I've ever tried it myself. I'm trying to remember. Maybe I did. I remember taking a massive amount of damage sometime trying one of these things.
The two of us have closed a portal with the skirl knife.
Right. Right.
Yeah, we all have.
Right.
No, all of us closed the portal with the staff that Lisa had.
Right.
But it was just Feder and I that closed a portal with the skirl knife, and it was just stabbing it.
Yeah, I'll look back and I'll wink at Taslin. I will run the blade across the top of my hand. Here's the top of my arm. I don't understand. This is okay. Minor soapbox. Just for a second. I fucking hate in movies and shit when people cut the palm of their hand.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean the thing that moves that they have to articulate to do other shit with?
It's
Yeah.
never gonna heal. Cut the top, cut the wrist. I understand not going for the big
Maybe
arteries.
the arm up here.
There's places you can get blood.
Bits that are straight that don't have to do anything.
The palm of your hand?
So I'm fully expecting this to happen when
Right.
everything is like done and said, because I cut the palm of my hand before I threw it
So,
to Feder.
to that point, since you did cut it, but you've also used the skirl knife to enact some damage on there, do a, I guess, perception, Feder?
Yeah.
Or maybe Arcana. Let's throw that in there.
Oh, yeah,
Just-
sure. why
I
not?
mean, part of that was because I knew, like, from the times that we've used it, it needs more than one person's essence to close the portal. Which
I'm just
is,
trying to determine if anything was expended based off of this.
randomly did okay on this, and it's a 21.
Oh yeah, because he used the knife to attack the thing. So
Yep. So I rolled a 75 on the percentile here, or 74, which I was going for 75. If it hit 75, most of it would have been expended. So we're sitting on an unused.
Oh, because he got fed off the demon.
Yeah. So
I mean, I feel like my essence has a little bit more kick to it.
yes, and I think that's what it was. A combination of that
Yeah,
and the fact that the blades never went too deep or too concentrated. Feder, you don't have to cut your. You sense that there's
Okay.
there's a vitality in the blade right
Great.
now still. That you
So,
have
like-
you have a free. You don't have to do this thing to it that you did
Okay.
before.
So for the moment, I'm going to quickly sheathe Mom's dagger in my kind of my vest, and then just like two-hand the skirl knife on the hilt, and then just start to push through, like one hand up against the back, and then just try to like push through the rift.
Gotcha. So then, for the sake of this, let's roll an attack roll and then a percentile.
Okay.
We're gonna see if you hit, which low
Yeah.
DC, but then how much you're able to stitch, because this thing is hitting into
23.
23.
to hit.
Oh, that's great.
So, question, John, because when we were dealing with the skirl gems and there was the blood and using the blood and everything like that, there was like a life essence link that happened.
Mm-hmm.
And because my blood is already on that and it hasn't been fully expended, is there a way that I could essentially throw some essence down the link to help give Feder more of an oomph to close this portal?
Do an Arcana check, because the skirl blade is very localized.
15.
Nothing seems to come to mind.
Okay.
Or at least that sort of there's a logical thing that's kind of like, this might not work, or you notice that there's a locality to the blade that requires you're cutting to feed, kind of there. It's hard to suss out, but you're feeling kind of negative about that idea.
And I'm also very distracted by trying to hold this monster still in the banishment plane, because we have about a minute before he pops back if we haven't closed the portal.
Percentile?
What was the percentile on that?
35.
Okay, 35% close. You two see as he brings the skirl blade in that it starts to stitch as the folds of reality spin around the blade and kind of catch, as if you're like stabbing a blade through like a knitting, and then you're curling it in, and you get about 35% out of 100 start stitching up. And you notice there's a lot here to stitch up, so he's starting to get it done. But the thing has been expended. Your blade has popped out, you've stitched about 35%, and it is dull. It is dulled and missing of essence.
I'll see that and I'll just kind of turn my attention to Yusuf and understrain be like, Yusuf, help him out. Quick.
Is it my turn?
Yes, it is your turn. So he's done that. You saw it stitch a decent amount in and go dark.
Is it still there in essence, or like in the?
I would say it's still in there.
Pushing into the aperture.
It's stitched it, and then he's been able to pull it out a little bit.
Aperture science.
I'm gonna walk over and like pull up my sleeve and kind of like cut my arm on the
Into
blade.
pieces.
Okay.
This is my last resort.
Roll a hit dice. And I would say
7.
7. Take 7 damage out. And I misread this, and this is my bad. So before you take the 7 out, your level's 11. Mm-hmm. And what is your HP?
Total?
Yeah.
99.
Let's do it 5 of your hit dice, and then subtract that. It's a little bit more difficult given the size of this. And you did 1, Taslin?
Yes.
So then do 4 more. We're going to retroactive. Sorry. I misread that there is a difficulty of essence this has to take from you as we're doing this. I'm still figuring, like...
Oh, God. This is not the time to be doing max damage hit die.
Did you make up your own rules, John, and you have to figure them out?
It's more that I've brought them in
Yeah.
to the notes, and this is like the second... Like, I've now looked at them after having not looked at them.
Damn. Okay, so what am I doing? I'm rolling 5 hit dice and
Subtracting that HP from your HP.
the total that I roll?
Yes.
Fuck me.
So that initial slice on my hand took 19 hit points away from me.
That's adorable.
Jesus.
But now the Skirl has taken its demand from you from that. And it is useful. Now you can either... I would say, given this to the time we're not in strict combat time, you could take the blade from him and do the attempt, if you wish. There's enough time, keeping in mind that this thing is coming at you for a few rounds before it gets to you. So it's got some... you've got a little bit of time. You can take the blade from him. We're not in strict.
Okay, I'm gonna retcon what I said I did. He sees the he sees like what's happening, so he runs his arm into it and like impales his arm because I took 32 points of damage.
Okay. Oof. And so yeah, the blade is vibrant again. Vibrant, bright red.
Okay, so I'm gonna take again. It's like I want to do.
So she still has her turn left before you. So roughly,
Okay.
I would say if you're you're still holding on.
Yeah, I'm still trying to keep focus on it because it
Okay.
has. Yeah.
Okay, cool. If you were gonna do anything else, you had an opportunity here, but you're still holding on. So the Feder, you're good.
Cool, and then I'm gonna essentially with like a little bit of a flourish, kind of like do another like it's like a slash, and then right back into like essentially like if I've blade into my forearm like reverse grip, I'm going to come down across it and then go back in again to try to just like that augury push with
Gotcha.
my offhand kind of like steadying the pommel and just slowly kind of driving it into the hole.
Got you. Another attack
Driving it into the hole.
into the hole.
Yeah! So on a 20-sided die,
There are 20 sides.
there are 20 sides. And on the first side
There's a 1.
is a 1. And sometimes you roll that one. So that's what I did.
John, Johnny, I would like to like you to look at your character sheet, and where it says inspiration, do you have a little sun
Oh, I don't.
there?
No, I don't.
Fuck. Okay.
No, I don't. Not this time.
Dex saving throw.
Oh no! Please don't fall into the portal.
This is more of a
Please
Dex,
don't
like
drop
in
the
terms of
knife.
hand.
Oh, there we go. Now this is what Daddy does. 27.
27. As
Yeah.
you stab in, but there's no expenditure of Skirl, but it almost as if the tear in the planes is trying to yank the blade out of your hand, and it almost does, and it jerks your arm with it, but you still hold on. So you're still holding onto the blade as it was going to try to
Don't
just rip it
lose
from your
the
hand.
knife to conceal the thing.
Yeah.
Good. That's
So-
great.
That gives your turn, which brings us to Yusuf. So you've noticed that he's having some trouble getting it in there. You can take it from him. You can try to,
Yusuf, take it in your hands and help guide it in.
or you can benefit him in some way if you have that ability to boon or bane. Because right now we're at 35% of 100% that this thing has to. I can't believe I forgot the hit dice thing up to level. I have a few different ranges, not just one.
I'm going to. Yusuf looks at the situation and just kind of takes a second.
Don't give up hope.
Wasn't going to. He kind of takes a look at the situation, looks around, sees the thing coming at us, like, we need more time. He's going to cast Aid.
Okay.
So all of us, our hit point max and our current hit points increase by 10 for the next 8 hours.
What are hit point max?
current hit points and our max. So you gain
nice,
10
yes.
temporary hit points to your pool and to your current. So basically, we heal 10, but we can also go up more.
Gotcha. Nice. Perfect.
And you cast that at 3rd level. It's normally 5 hit points, but he did a level up. So that's what he's doing this round.
Gotcha. So Tazlin, you're still holding on. We're still good.
Well, I mean, I can do this while I'm concentrating on keeping it in its plane. I am actually I'm going to move towards Fetter, and essentially while I'm still kind of straining to keep my hands and the banishment spell together, I am going to lean my weight into the shoulder that Fetter is trying to push the dagger further into.
Okay.
He's like hip checking me.
Yeah.
You're just like
Yeah.
Cool.
Trying to shut the door with my butt.
All right.
Hallelujah.
Which will give you an advantage on your blade
Okay.
attack.
Great.
She's you've been aided with some extra vitality,
Yeah.
and she's trying to help you with the
Oh,
attack.
that's better. 22.
22. Nice. And then roll percentile
Okay.
as the blade's starting to stitch around.
God damn it.
20.
All right.
Halfway there.
Halfway there. Ooh, halfway there. Wow. And that's about where our monetization now. Yeah, he gets it half stitched up, and from that moment, you see that the Hezru has made about half the distance. It is now about a round away from coming back.
Okay.
Between where it was and then, so about a round, roughly. So you two have a thing that you can help him with, or if not, you can defer to another attack on Fetter.
No, I'm gonna drop compelled duel since it didn't do anything anyway, and he's not here. And he's going to actually cast Aura of Vitality.
Okay.
What's your hit points at?
I mean,
I'm
now
topped out.
82 out of 91.
You're topped out.
Yeah, I'm the whole way full.
Okay.
Yeah, he hasn't taken any damage.
Well, I have to choose who this affects per round. So,
I don't totally need anything, so
I mean,
I feel like it would be better served if you helped us close the portal.
I am. I'm giving us fuel to do this since it runs on hit points. So, Fetter's good for right now. So he looks at Taz. Taz, you get back 6 hit points this round.
And also that charge, like I should mention, now that we're at 55%, it is dark again. So we'll
Okay.
need to enact another
Feed-
tax on. So you're
feed
doing
that
good.
boy.
Yeah. Feed me, Seymour.
Does it need an action to give it more hit points, or can I just use a move to get over there and stab myself again?
The cutting of the hand, or at least the cutting of self, is bonus action.
Okay,
So-
then I'm gonna move over and stab myself again.
Just kind of jam it in.
God damn it!
Dealing with theoretical spaces here, but yeah,
20 hit points.
20 hit points. All right. As it enacts its tax on you, you notice that it is vibrant and glowing, and it does a lot of damage to Yusuf as he feeds your weapon
Okay.
for another attack. Which, go ahead.
19 on the die. It's 20. 20
Yep,
billion.
yep. As long as we're hitting into the 20s, we're
million.
doing good here.
Guys, we're using the bright red die.
Yeah, and
Let's go for
percentile.
bloods. For bloods. Ah, there we go. Nice.
69.
69.
And you actually hear Feder say "nice" as just
No, no.
the blade stitches.
So hacky.
Yeah, the blade stitches the rest of reality back together and goes dark as it is now empty of it's empty of its vitality, and just as the thing starts to reach it closes off.
Yusuf sees that it's about to close. He picks up his sword and just like holds it in front of him like a salute. It's like, fuck off. so
And
that the guy can see him.
Yeah, and as he's reaching, I just kind of give him a wink over Fetter's shoulder, being like, yeah, I put you back there.
I bet you were wondering when another one of those strange rifts were going to arrive. Well, it turns out there's a bit of a process to these invasions. What's that process? Well, that's another story for a much later time. But speaking of time, it's time for me to hop on out of here. Do this again soon, yeah? Great. You keep being your beautiful selves, and I'll be back with more infernal tales from these demon days.
There's also whatever is happening over in... Fuck. I should have totally remembered.
Yes, fuck. And
I gotta pull up the location maybe here for a second.
Fuckalaya. Fuckalrooski. Yes, that. Swing and a fuck.
There we go. There's also... Okay, pause.
For now, that seems to be where you're...
Kobold.
Kobold.
For now, that seems to be where you're at.
One second. Just because kobolds and then also Drew distracted me. This is happening to me or to all of us?
To all of you. All
Okay.
three of you.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah.
Neat.
While you're setting that up, I'll be right back.
Yeah, so I was watching John Carpenter's In the Mouth of Madness the other
Oh,
day.
I love it. Oh, it's one of my favorites.
Johnny, remember when he comes out of the town and the kid rides up on his bike and is like,
Yeah.
Mister, are you okay? Do you know who that kid is?
Huh.
It's Hayden Christensen.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's
I saw his name in the
amazing.
credits. I was like, who the fuck?
Fuck is
what?
he?
How? When?
The little kid on the
And like
little
it had been
tricycle.
bothering me because like his face looked familiar, but I could
Right.
not place it. Like I just did not know who it was. And then
Is that the one that gets older and older and older?
no. The one when he finally comes out, the
Oh,
paper boy that's
yes.
like, hey, man, you okay? Were you in an accident? He's like, yeah. He's like, want a paper? No, it's okay.
Amazing. Dude, I love that movie.
Okay. Really?
What is that?
I don't know.
That's your Discord.
Discord?
Yeah.
Here, quiet you.
I was like, that's
Quiet
coming
you.